All set?
I don't like not being in control.
Relax, Tommy.
I can't. I know what's at stake. Our empire is fragile, like a little boy with a glass head. All it takes is one person who knows the wrong thing to open their mouth, and then someone will start to connect the dots, and I'll be finished. We'll be finished. What are these?
Just something to help you calm your nerves.
I stopped taking any drugs years ago. You better than anyone knows what I was like. My addiction.
You need to take something so that you can maintain your hold on everything you've worked for. These will make you feel like a little boy with a steel head. Good boy. That wasn't so bad, now was it? Come on, let's go see what everyone wants to talk about.
So sorry we're late. Isn't this just like old times?
What's this all about, Hitler?
Cooperation. More specifically, the lack of it.
Cooperation hinges on trust. I don't think you're going to find a lot of that in this room.
I'm almost 6 feet tall, you sons of bitches! And don't you forget it!
Tommy's feeling a little bit under the weather today. I think you should sit down, dear.
We've got a lot to cover. Why don't we get on with it?
We're still a couple of guests short.
Who else is there?
Me. Is that the Swede?
You've got eyes, idiot.
It's been a long time, Jasmine.
Well, well, well. It looks like you two know each other.
Knew each other. It's been several years.
We shared a trailer one summer when we were both working as pantomime giraffes for a traveling carnival.
Is that all you shared?
It's okay, Vance, honey. Those were different days. I was younger then. My body was more firm. I didn't have to settle for just any man.
This is all very charming, not to mention highly entertaining, but Debbie doesn't give a flying fuck, so why don't you all just shut up?
6 feet tall, baby!
I think he just needs some rest.
Let's get things rolling. I've got other appointments.
We're still waiting for Butch Patterson.
That idiot?
He's a premature ejaculator, you know.
Oh, we know. Listen, I don't like the idea of dealing with him any more than you do, but we need him.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, cut the crap. We've all been chasing the same payday for years, and none of us are any closer to finding the money than when we started. I'm suggesting that we pool our resources and start working together.
Then what's the Swede doing here? I don't much like the idea of another mouth to feed.
He's working for Tommy and I, keeping tabs on Demorier.
I don't get the connection.
When push comes to shove, about the only person that Patterson's going to trust is Blanche. She's our connection to the information we need from Patterson.
And when that's done?
They will both be disposed of. Deal?
All right, then. Let's put all our cards on the table. We'll see about Patterson later.
Excuse me. I'm here to see Dr. Jane Martindale.
I'm kind of busy, prick. Got something going on here.
But I have an appointment. My name's Vincent Poughton.
What are you in for?
I beg your pardon?
Well, the doctor's got a lot of patients. The only way she can keep track of who's who is by knowing what's wrong with them. So what's your problem?
Are you really the receptionist?
Well, my ass is in the chair. It's good enough for you, freak.
Well, you see, I suffer from a psychosomatic impotence due to a feeling of attachment to a motherly figure and a fear of alienation stemming from the view that by entering into a sexual relationship, I would sever the final thread holding me to my mother, vis-a-vis my childhood. This fear, the anxiety I feel about severing those ties and facing my own independence has created a condition whereby I am unable to become stimulated physically.
So you're trying to tell me you can't get...
You must be Mr. Paulton. I'm sorry I'm late. Never mind. I can take you right away. Come with me. So, how...
Bobby's boy.
Oh, my God!
I know, what a freak, eh? Hey, you got that number of the place that delivers booze? Fine, I'll get it myself. Stupid goddamn world.
I had just finished my PhD in physics, and I needed some time off. I read somewhere that Ernest Hemingway loved Spain, so I went to Finland because I hated Hemingway, and I figured it's the last place he'd show up. I needed some time away. I had developed a dependency on methamphetamines, pushing myself to stay awake for finals. It was a dead-end street, and I knew it was either quit or die. Helsinki seemed like just the ticket.
Helsinki?
The same Helsinki where your brother was running the bait shop.
He was never happier than when he was there.
I know. We met one afternoon at a lure and tackle convention. It was... I'm sorry for this, Vance. It was love at first sight.
Simon never mentioned a woman in his life.
We had to keep our love a secret, because being within 500 meters of a doctor of physics violated his probation. But ours was a love that could not be denied. I renounced my doctorate and declined the position I was offered at NASA. We planned on getting married.
You told me I was the first man you were ever intimate with.
You believed me? I mean, it's very likely that you were that day, but for God's sake, Vance. We met at a drugstore. You were a clerk. I was buying spermicide and a home pregnancy test. Did it not ever occur to you?
I thought you were flirting.
Don't take this the wrong way, Vance, because I like you. I really do. But you are the stupidest fucking moron I've ever met in my life.
This is all very enlightening. But what exactly am I doing here? I never even heard of Simon before today.
It's simple. Blanche du Maurier.
What about Blanche?
She's the connection we need to Patterson. And you are the connection we need to her. We need you to guide our little reporter friend to ask the right questions, to get the information we need.
And then?
And then you will kill Patterson and du Maurier.
You don't know what you're asking, Blanche.
Fine. I came to you because it would have been easier. But I have sources in every government department there is. I'll just do it myself.
Blanche! Blanche! Shut the door.
You're not going to do that thing with your pants you did at the Christmas party, are you?
God, no. How many times do I have to apologize for that? Look, it's about your co-worker. I really shouldn't be telling you this, but you seem bound and determined to find out with or without my help. And I will not be burdened with an unclear conscience.
You're being a tad bit dramatic.
Well, 5 years of Shakespeare in the park. It's hard to get it out of your system. What I'm trying to say, Blanche, is you're knocking on the door of a very dangerous house.
What is that supposed to mean?
It means your suspicions are valid. There's a lot more going on here, Blanche, than even you can imagine. And when that door is flung open and the wan cast of sunlight falls upon the ignominious treachery that lies within the walls of Beelzebub's dark abode, do not be surprised when yon beast springs forth to wreak his cruel revenge.
So what you mean is, the Swede is a mole working for Tommy Rubella, and Tommy forced you to hire him to keep tabs on my investigation of his criminal empire.
Exactly. But you didn't hear it from me.
Well, my Swedish friend, two can play at that game.
So, even though he only had the one leg, he got by. Because he had the monkey he stole from the cage outside of that gas station. And the monkey would help him walk. And would make him his lunch. He was making his lunch every day for 20 years. He was only 5'9". 5'10". So, don't you even think about wearing your shoes inside my house. Or you'll end up in that cage outside the gas station.
He was your brother, Debbie. I'm sure you were privy to a great deal of information none of us have had the luxury of knowing.
I wouldn't have called this meeting unless I intended on being forthright with all of you.
We're waiting.
Simon was a different sort of child. Sensitive, withdrawn. He had a hard time making friends because of his speech impediment and his refusal to wear anything other than hip waders.
I'd forgotten about that. I wouldn't even take them off to make love.
It's true.
At first it bothered me. Then I got used to it. Now... Well, now I find myself making up reasons to go to fishing derbies.
Touching. But But I find this whole event a colossal waste of time. I'm leaving.
$30 million.
I'm listening.
Then come back and sit down.
Where would a stuttering fisherman from Finland find that kind of money?
The ocean. Simon was out fishing one day when he stumbled across a treasure of sunken jewels. He wasn't quite sure what to do with them, so he called me for advice. I recommended he keep them somewhere safe.
I'm wearing a safe right now.
So, let me guess. You, being the kind woman that you are, agreed to take them off his hands for safekeeping.
I only had Simon's best interests at heart.
I take it from this little meeting you never got the treasure. What happened?
We needed a way to get the treasure across the ocean without alerting the authorities. If the Finnish government caught wind, they would have confiscated everything. I came up with what I thought was the perfect plan. Everything was hidden inside a shipment of Finnish art being sent to Canada for display at the Scott Baio Museum of Fine Art.
That be the same Scott Baio Museum of Fine Art I was the curator at?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're talking about the same one.
The Hiro Nakamoto exhibit.
Finland's most famous sculptor.
That exhibit was stolen before the museum ever received it.
And the police have always suspected an inside job.
I don't think I like what you're suggesting.
I like a good hand job. It's all mouths and genitals nowadays. Nobody ever thinks of the hand.
Vance. Vance. Vance was in on it from the start.
You bitch.
You bet I am. All cards belong on the table.
I never laid eyes on the diamonds. Or anything else, for that matter. I was simply the go-between that brokered the deal and set up the delivery.
Who contacted you?
A man. He never gave a name. But whoever it was, or whoever he worked for, knew everything about me.
So what was your cut?
Freedom. Like I said, whoever it was knew everything about me. Inside and out, faults and all, some of which are punishable by very lengthy prison terms.
So you were blackmailed?
Yes.
Who picked up the shipment?
A van arrived. One man got out, the other stayed behind the wheel. I never got a good look at his face. It was dark and I was wearing a skidoo helmet.
Boy, do I remember that phase.
All I can tell you is he was a tall man.
How tall?
But as tall as 11 house cats, if you stack them.
What kind of cats?
Maine Coons.
Ah, that's fuck all.
As I was saying, he was as tall as 11 house cats. And he had a wooden leg.
Simon!
Hey, get your penis working, Limpy?
My doctor says it's a valid psychological ailment.
You just keep believing that, prick. Look, you didn't hear it from me. She's being investigated. Gonna be up on criminal charges. Probably gonna lose her license.
Really?
Oh, sure. Well, why would I lie to you, party boy? What do I got to gain?
Oh, you're still here. I have a meeting next week, so we're going to have to reschedule your appointment.
Court date.
So I guess it all comes down to this. Who was driving the van? And where did they take Simon treasure.
It wasn't me or Tommy.
Not me.
But I guess that's the missing piece of the puzzle. Simon is dead. And if everyone here is telling the truth, he took his secret to the grave with him. Our only link to the treasure is the man driving the van.
Or woman.
Now what?
We go our separate ways and start to track down Simon's movements up until he died.
In the event we are successful, how's the money going to be divided?
Equal shares. Agreed?
Agreed.
5'9".
Flattering.
Yeah, the button must have gone off when I picked it up. Lord knows how it got under there.
Oh, Butch. I was wondering if you'd like to go out sometime. With me. On a date.
I was wondering when you'd come around and see things old Butchie's way. I'd be happy to go out with you. Bring lots of money. Old Butchie likes to have a few.